What's crack-a-lackin'? It's your boy Broshmo, just in case you did not know so. And this is the weekly pick'em. Basically, we go through week 15 and we try to pick who's gonna win. Pretty simple, right? We're right now 132 and 75 and 1, so the record's okay. It's whatever. Last week we went 9 and 7. Haven't been doing so hot the last few weeks, but let's get it back on a roll. Let's get back on a roll, baby. Also, coming up on the channel tomorrow, actually, we got my running back rankings for the 2020 NFL Draft. That ought to be very decisive. It's a very decisive position, running back. A lot of people think one thing. I might think the other. Remember, be cool in the comments. Let's have a discussion. Let's keep it civil. And I got a mock draft. There we go. I got a mock draft coming out next Tuesday, Wednesday, one of those days. It'll be just the first round, so sorry if you want more. It's just going to be the first round. And bold prediction should be out next week as well. I'm almost done with all the overlays for that. But without further ado, let's get in. Remember, bam, Twitch. I stream there occasionally. Check it out. Let's talk. And let's go ahead. We're going to start with today's game, the Thursday game. The Jets versus the Ravens. I mean, honestly, I don't expect Lamar to play this whole game. It's going to be a blowout. Jets, they haven't been that good recently, or much of the whole season. But yeah, it should be a pretty breezy game. I got them winning 31-13. It's pretty easy, pretty simple. Over and under is 45.5. The Ravens might get there by themselves, just saying. And then on to Sunday, we're gonna start with the Dolphins. Fins up, baby, fins up. Dolphins versus the Giants. I think the Giants win this game. I think Eli Manning wins this game. Part of me might be just because I want the Dolphins to get a higher draft pick. Because, oh man, after those first 3 picks, after Chase Young, Burrow, and Andrew Thomas are gone, I don't really know where to go from there. It's kind of tough. But, I mean, they looked really good last week, and they're playing a much worse team in the Dolphins. The Dolphins have played very competitively, but if there's no Devontae Parker, I don't know how this offense really gets started. So I got the Giants winning 24-20. Over under is 46.5. Next, we got the Patriots, man, versus the Bengals. We got Spygate Part 2 themselves, and they didn't really need it against the Bengals. The Bengals are kind of hapless, but I got not necessarily a close one, but the offense hasn't really looked that good for the Patriots. But let's be honest, there's way more talent on that team. I got them winning 24-14. The score may look close, but I think the Bengals might get a garbage touchdown or 2. So 42 point over under honestly might go under. I have a feeling it will. And then we got, this ought to be a banger. It ought to be a high scoring game with the Buccaneers facing Detroit. The Buccaneers, they're on a roll. Jameis Winston, he's winning despite turning over the ball like 3 or 4 times a game. He's untouchable in fantasy. It doesn't matter how many times he turns the ball over. He's still scoring. He's throwing the ball like nobody's business. This Detroit defense ought to let them keep doing that. The defense has been kind of a disappointment, especially that pass rush. David Blau, I don't know how well he's going to do. I know the run game is going to be shut down because Buccaneers are pretty good at stopping that run. So I got them winning big, 35-14. And over and under is 46, just in case you wanted to know. Next game, we got Chicago versus the Green Bay. Last time they faced off was the season opener, week 1, in that, I think it was like 10-3. It was a pretty slow, game. We might get much of the same. The Packer offense can't seem to get it together. And I think they're going to have a hard time with this Bear defense. Honestly, Mitch Trubisky, if he keeps playing the way he did last couple of weeks, man, they could actually pull this game out. I have them losing, though. I have it as a close one, 14-13. Over-unders 40.5. But I got the G-men. I got the Packers, the P-men. I got the P-men. That's such a terrible nickname. But I got them just keep on rolling. Speaking of rolling, I got the Titans still rolling, winning 28-17 over the Texans. Over under is 50.5, so we could have a shootout here. Ryan Tannehill just seems untouchable. He's just winning games. I don't know what it is like a career renaissance for Tannehill, and he looks good. I think they're going to bring him back. If he gets them to the playoffs, I don't see why you don't bring back Tannehill, because this team, they're very deep. They have very few pieces that they really need to assemble on this roster, and man, I mean, I don't know what Houston Texan team are we gonna get? Are we gonna get the the one that beat the Patriots, or the one that lost to the Broncos and lost handedly? I think we're gonna get the latter there. And then we got the Chiefs versus the Broncos in a 45.5 point over under. I got the Broncos scoring because last time they met, I mean, shoot, Patrick Mahomes didn't even play the whole game. They won 30-6. I got them. This is a much improved Broncos team with Drew Lock at center, under center. So I got them getting 10 more points. So I still got the Chiefs winning. I don't think they will lose this game, but it could be very competitive. Drew Lock has looked very good. And then we got the Eagles versus the Redskins. It's a 39 point over under, and honestly, it probably could go under. That's a pretty good over under for Vegas. But man, Eagles, they just don't look good. The offense, it took them a whole it took them the first half and then some change to get that offense rolling against the Giants. So I don't think it'll be that much pretty here. I think they still win, but it's going to be a lot closer than we think, or at least, yeah, it's going to be a lot closer than we think. It's going to be I got a 24-14. And then Seahawks versus the Panthers and the P-Men again. The Cats, actually. Oh no, I don't like where that could go. But I got Seahawks. I think they rebound well. They're gonna win 31-21. The Carolina Panthers, they haven't really looked good in the last few weeks. Kyle Allen, I think he's rookie season. It's been a good rookie season, but I think he's basically a glorified backup at this point. I don't think he's the franchise quarterback there. I think Russell Wilson will get it together. I think Chris Carson, now he's really the only running back in town if you want to include CJ Precise, but let's be honest. And they're going to run right over this run defense, or lack of a run defense there in Carolina. Over under is 48.5. I got this being a high scoring game. Wow. And then we have the Raiders versus the Jaguars, and this is what the Raiders need. They need a pick-me-up game to get back on track. The Jaguars, they've lost 5 straight. They've looked a mess. They'll probably look better with Gardner Minshew under center. I know he didn't look that great last week, but he wasn't committing a lot of turnover. He didn't commit too many turnovers. It was just defense was just laid down. And I think we will get a competitive game, but overall, I think Derek Carr will be enough to lead this team to victory, especially if they get Josh Jacobs back. I got him winning 27-18. Over under is 46. And then we got Baker Mayfield coming back saying, "Hey, Kingsbury, you remember when you said I wasn't good enough to play? I remember that. And I want to come back with a vengeance." Kind of. I got them winning this game 21-10. Arizona's offense has looked pretty terrible recently. I've picked them the last couple of weeks to win, and boy, they've been blown out. Over and under is 49. I think this is a good I think this game could definitely go under the way the Cardinal offense has been playing. And yeah, I think Baker gets his revenge. I think he'll probably toss a couple of touchdown passes in this one. I mean, that defense for Arizona is atrocious. And then this game is going to be, I think, could be really good. It's Minnesota versus, well, the Chargers. And you know what? It looks like a blowout, and I think it can turn into a blowout. I mean, the Chargers, they looked good last week, but let's be honest, Jaguars aren't stopping anybody. I got the Vikings winning 24-9. This game, it should be a lot closer, but I have a feeling that Kirk Cousins will return to dominance and win this handedly. Let's be honest, Kirk Cousins has not been the same since that Seattle game. So, yeah, over-under on that's 45. Next, we got the Rams versus the Cowboys. I got the Rams obliterating the Cowboys. The Cowboys have not looked good. They haven't. I don't know what it is. The defense doesn't look as dominant as it was at the beginning of the year, first half of the year. And I think the Rams are getting it together, especially on offense. They're running a lot more 11 personnel. So it's is it 11? I think it's 20. It's 21 personnel. They're running more 2 tight end sets, and they looked really good, especially against the Seahawks. I don't think Dallas will look nearly as good. They haven't recently. I mean, it's just been a rough year for the NFC East in general. Over under is 49. I'm probably gonna go over on that one. And then we got the Falcons facing the 49ers. I don't think Matt Ryan has not looked good since return from injury. And I don't think he's going to look good in this one. This is a great defense. Granted, hey, I know the 49ers defense kind of put up a stinker last week, but it's Drew Brees and they were in a dome. Drew Brees loves that dome play. So they're outside now, and Matt Ryan, guess what? He don't like not being in a dome. So I got him winning 26-7. Over-under is 48. That's a pretty good over-under, since despite me anticipating the Falcons not being able to score a lot. And then we go to the Sunday night game, Bills versus Steelers. And I said it. I said Bills Mafia. If you were going to win that game against the Ravens, I would say y'all would win out. But you didn't. But I don't think I could pick that against them in this game. I know it's in Pittsburgh, but I think they can do enough. I know that's a tough defense there with the Steelers, but I just offensively, I just don't buy into the duck. I just don't. Over under in this game's 36.5. See, Vegas doesn't even buy in this being a high scoring game. I won't bet on this game. But yeah, I got Buffalo winning this one. You're welcome, Buffalo fans. And then the Monday night game, we got the Colts versus the Saints. I think this is going to be a blowout. Drew Brees, he got not necessarily outgunned, but they got outscored at home. I don't think that's going to happen in this game. I think it's going to come back a bit with a vengeance. I know that Colt defense has been pretty good, but their offense has been so stagnant recently. So I got them winning 31-14. I know there's been a few injuries for the defense of the Saints, but I don't think it'll matter much. They're pretty deep on the defensive line where a bulk of those injuries are happening, and I just don't think the Colts can keep up. But that's it for the video. Go ahead, do the YouTube things. Much appreciated, much obliged. But until next time, you be easy, my friends. Later.